Yo, it's me, Big Nose. Do you want the best player on the game? Well, you can't get D-Money, because he's probably not in FIFA. So, get Phil Bardsley. Get all the Phil Bardsley. So if you're looking for the best way to get coins, don't spend fewer points, go over to useandbuy.com for the cheapest place on the market for your coins. Use code Vizeh at checkout, and most importantly, enjoy the video. Yo, what is up, lads? How you all doing? Welcome to another video on my channel. Today I am going to be delving deep into how you guys can get better at this game of FIFA 21. Now, I am, first things first, not the best player in the world. However, I am an Elite 3, Elite 2 consistent player. I'm currently 9 and 5 for a 10k team, and if you think that's not that good, you play with a 10k team and you tell me how you do, pal. You have Victor Lindelof as your best at the back, and you tell me how much fun you have, mate. But using this 10k team with not many good players like pass the ball, dribble, or take advantage of pace, that really, I've got to play in a much more smarter and efficient way, and especially defend in a much more efficient way to surely get the point and get the goals on the board. So I've made a few tips here on my notepad here to go through, and hopefully this helps you out who are currently struggling in this game, because I know this game isn't exactly this game is not a very player-friendly game. It's not. Maybe you think you do, and maybe you're having fun, and that's fantastic for you guys. This game relies a lot of you having a defensive mind, and also you being very confident of passing the ball in the right situation. Sometimes I see people make passes which makes absolutely no sense, but because they're in tune of playing last year's FIFA and the year before that, where you can make pass upon pass upon pass, and it just non-stop goes to the player, this time it's very inconsistent, and it means you gotta actually think about what to do next. So first things first, let's get into my most important tip for you guys in FIFA 21, and that will be: do not rush your defenders. Don't. Please, for the love of God, do not rush them, because this is the biggest thing I can tell you guys. Because I play my 10k team, and I'll show you guys my 10k team right now. I've got Lindelof. I've got goddamn Holgate at the back. I got Matty Cash. I got Van Aanholt. Like, it's normal 700 coin players here I'm using. And I used to use the likes of Callum Chambers and Tyrone Mings before that. These players aren't that fast. They can't really pass. And also, they're not that good at turning with the ball or off the ball. So, what do I do when I'm facing a team with Adam Traore? Using a team with Dembele and Rodrigo and the generic people you see with a lot of pace. What I do is that I track my players back. I grab my players. I don't rush out to the attacker, because guess what? They can run past me. And if they run past me, I cannot catch up and get back in position. So I've got to make sure I keep my defenders as further back as I can, but not do drop back by simply, if you are, for example, being counted on, you keep on moving back and then back and then back, because with this game, apparently now magnetized for your players to block the shot. So if you're in the vicinity of your opponent, gonna have a shot. If you're in the area at all, odds are your player could get a block on it. I find that to be very OP. The better play they have, the better it will be. But I've got the likes of Holgate doing last-minute tackles, and it's literally and it's always very consistent. And maybe that's just what the game is now, but I find that to be much more helpful. Do not rush out your defenders. That's the worst thing you can do, because it's so easy to be countered, and it's especially more easier to have that one final free ball, and you can't really do that much if you got your players back and tracking back. So my number one thing, which I found success with, which I had to do to play with a 10k team, is to track my players back. Number two, and this is a thing that I see a lot of lower level players do all the time, and that is simply by attacking in the same way every single time. They run down in a straight line down the byline. They run in a straight line. They do through ball after through ball after through ball, and they also attack fast. They don't have any actual time to let their team move up the pitch. It's just non-stop. Okay, I tackled them in my defense. I'm gonna go pass, 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 through on goal. It's just through ball, through ball, through ball, and then they just instant rush it up the pitch. Now, sometimes you can do that, and there is a time to do that really fast direct counter-attack, but that is not always there, and people rush the through ball when there's not really a pass there to begin with. And I see people do this so much. It's just through ball simulator, and the worst part is that is the easiest thing to predict. the easiest thing to predict is a through ball. You know where they're going to run to. It's just dependent on if you can stop it or not. And most times in this game, you can stop it, even with my normal players. And the worst part is I see them do the same style of play every single time. It's just through ball, through ball, through ball, sprint, sprint, sprint. And the funny thing is, you are actually the most weakest when you're sprinting. You're the most weakest of a poor touch, of a poor pass, and you have got more likely to actually, waste the ball while you're sprinting. So you may be there saying, okay, well, what am I supposed to do? And this is what I would recommend, boys. I would recommend simply you can do the counter-attacking football and direct play. That is a thing that you can do. However, you need to also hold the ball up. Take a few passes backwards and stretch it across the pitch. Make yourself not predictable. If you have 5 different ways to attack, then that will give the opponent 5 different worries of how will you take on this play. Can you do a through ball? Okay, everyone can do that. But can you do simple 1-2 passes? 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and move up the pitch? Or can you do some skills? Can you do a few roulettes, a few ball rolls, a few body feints, a few fake shots? Can you get out of the way of a lot of players trying to defend against you? Left analog dribbling as well. That can you do little tiny touches to get out of play and to open up space? That is one thing that people don't do enough, and it's so useful because you go left, right, left, right, left, right, and because of how heavy your opponent's players usually are, because if you're sprinting this way, it's not like other FIFAs where you just go zigzag, zigzag. No, once you're running in a one direction, it's not that fast to turn on yourself yet again. If they make the wrong choice, then you're going to get past them, and if you can read your opponent quite well, you're going to pass the players quite easily, and that's the number one thing that I do in games. I go left, right, and keep them on my player, and I make my opponent stressed. I make them frustrated because they just want to get the ball. And you know what happens when you are there and your opponent wants the ball? They will start pulling out players from the defense. They'll start getting agitated. They're going to start rushing at the players and trying to slide tackle you. And that is when you can be the most efficient. When there's players out of position, there's a space for your attacker. And that is what you have to take advantage of. So don't rush every single play. Don't do the same thing each time. And also take the ball slow. Do some passes sideways, and if you have 4 or 5 different skills in your arsenal to try and pull off and just don't do the same thing each time, it makes you hard to predict. The difference between a gold 3 and elite 3 player isn't specifically the team. Sometimes it may help, don't get me wrong, but it's also in how many ways can they attack you, and also how well can they defend. And that is what I find the biggest difference between a gold 3 and an elite 3 player, is how consistent you are at defending and how unpredictable you are at attacking. And last but not least as well, please, I know that I'm not the right person to say this, but I find that I am the best at FIFA when I don't get that mad. And you may say, but you get mad all the time. I've got 26 and 4. I've got many 25s and 5s. I've got many Elite 2s and Elite 3s. And those times that I play the game, I find myself playing better when I am the calmest I can possibly be. Now, sometimes, yes, this game, it can annoy you. Don't get me wrong. However, what happens when you're annoyed is that you start doing things that you don't typically do. What you start doing is rushing the ball. People rush the play all the time and they lose the ball on a consistent basis, and that's what happens. That's simply what happens when you start getting annoyed. You start rushing, and when you start rushing, that makes you the most predictable because they know that what you want to do is get the ball up the pitch as fast as you can, which makes it very easy to predict where you're going to pass the ball. And also, you start making passes sooner than usual, you start overthinking things, and then that's when you play the worst FIFA. And there you go, that is the best advice that I can give to you. Very simple and very straight to the point. Simply, don't be predictable in your attack. Have a few different skills and ways to get past your opponent. Keep a level head and don't rush out your defenders. Track back, track runs, and make your opponent make the mistake. Make them make the wrong pass. Because if you try to tackle them and you lose out and you start rushing your players, then you are already making a mistake for them and you're making it easy for them. So make it as hard for your opponent as you can and let them make the mistake. So there you go, boys. That is my advice for you guys. If you guys want to go watch my streams live on Facebook Gaming, link is down below in the description. And lads, thank you for watching. Tell me your weekly results down below in the description, and I'll see you all next time.